ultra happy people. I am your host, ultra runner and coach Tania, and here future ultra runner Andy.
No, 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 no. You need to get this out your head. New ultra runner.
I told you I was thinking in a new intro for you. Hope you like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah. How's everyone doing?
Everyone's
doing good.
Every time you say that now, I just laugh. I don't know why.
Well, first of all, I'm going to start today's episode with, okay, everyone, wherever you are, well, if you're driving, probably not. But if you are running around or if you're, everyone please clap.
Oh no, what's this one?
Andy just ran his first 15K this week.
So, to be fair, I did say I would do it. Am I getting snaps? I think that's the first time I've ever had snaps.
So wherever you are, we're going to send Andy a big cheer. So if
Thank
you
you very
have
much.
anything to, I thought like if you have anything to share with us or with the community, if you have anything to maybe that you want to share, a big or a small accomplishment. I hate when people say like, oh, it's just a tiny accomplishment. There's none such a thing of a tiny or a big accomplishment. Accomplishment is an accomplishment and that's it. So yeah, if you have something to share something that you did this week that you're proud of, give us a shout. So today's episode is for shout for Andy.
Hey,
oh my
thank you
god.
very much.
So I want you, obviously what a difference from I don't know how many weeks we've done the show, but I think 18 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit longer maybe. What a change from I'm not a runner to I'm crushing 15Ks now. Well, maybe the first one. But walk us through how was your 15K experience? Because it's a big distance. Like a jump from 10K to 15K is a jump though.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, because obviously we say this podcast is not just for ultra runners, it's for non-runners and people that are starting out like me. It was a big jump, and I think when I say it was a big jump, it wasn't a big jump in my legs.
Mm-hmm.
It felt different.
Okay.
It felt different
How?
because there was lots of different things by the end of it. There was nothing mentally that was a problem because I was always going to, in my head, I woke up, I was determined to do it, I was wanting to do it, I was going to get on the treadmill and just run it. And that's what I done. I stopped once because every time I tried to stop and have a drink of water, it was going everywhere.
All right, so you have to nail the drinking and running at the same time. Got it.
So I had to stop once to have a drink. But strange things, like for example, the soles of my feet were tingling when I came off.
Okay.
My legs didn't feel sore. I actually felt like my legs could have carried me a longer distance. But I was just happy that I'd done the 15K, so I just stopped it at that point.
I think
but
your
my feet were tingling.
Yeah, it's like I have that happen to me when I'm running in a treadmill. Just because your feet doesn't change, they don't have that stimulation of different terrain or a different.
Had that before.
There's no bending because it's longer than an hour now. And even if you do that in a bike, you will feel that same tingling.
Right,
that happens to me as well. Like my toes kind of like feel numb and sleepy.
Yeah,
just because you don't have
something
that.
else strange. I don't know if this is a thing or else it's just in my head.
Tell us.
But see, when I stopped running, when because it's never happened at 5K or 10K or anywhere in between, is that see when I stopped running at 15K, it was like it took my brain a minute to adjust. It was like in my head I was still running, but my legs had stopped.
So you had to convince your brain, like, okay, you can stop now.
Because it was like, because I'm not sure whether it was because of that motion. And then, I'd done it in an hour and a half, which I was quite pleased with. And I wasn't running for time. In fact, it was 1 hour and 31 minutes I'd done it. And I wasn't doing it for time, but it seems to be that half an hour is my 5K no matter what, I think, right? Which hopefully will get better at. But the thing is
that's your goal, yeah.
But the thing is, I think that because I was in the same motion for an hour and a half constantly, it was like my brain had zoned out at times. And actually, that when you get to 10K, because remember I said a while ago when I was doing 10Ks that what happens is that I now understand how you do the wee zone out things and all that in your brain, and you kind of almost forget
you're putting
one foot in front of another. Definitely after 10K that happens.
Okay.
So when I hit the sort of 10K and 11K,
You were cruising.
I was cruising. I just didn't even see for the last.
That's a little bit of a runner's high. It's called like
well,
when you're like not like obviously you're running, but you're feeling like bliss and like tranquility, and you can relax.
Yeah, I now kind of get that because for the last I would say the last 4K, I just wasn't even thinking about anything. My brain shut down. I was just going and I was listening to my podcast that I had on at the time. Not ours, by the way.
I do run with our podcast.
But I was listening to a podcast, but then in the last kilometre, that's where I think I got a wee bit of a high because I was saying to myself, "Shit, I'm going to do this.
Oh my god!
I'm going to do the 15K." And actually, if I'm being honest as well, I wanted to do it, and I guess you guys out there and you kind of pushed me to get it done because I said in the last one,
Peer pressure.
I'm going to get the 15K
Keep
done
it coming,
this week.
guys.
I'm
Keep
not
it
going to
coming.
tell you what day or when I'm going to do it. But
You're
I
like,
thought to
"Shoot,
myself,
I need
to
to
do it
do it
before the next
'cause
podcast.
Oh,
And you know
there you
what?
go.
I'm raging as well because we normally do the podcast on a Wednesday. And as it turns out, we're not doing it till Friday, so I bloody had an extra few days to do it.
And then remember, I told you like, don't tell me anything. You're going to tell me all about it that day.
that's
So
right,
I've been waiting for the story of the 15K for a little bit.
But I tell you something else. Is it definitely those stepping stones from the 5 to the 10 to the 15, and because my legs were felt okay and my ankle, and everybody knows that's been the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
Is I now have in my head that I'm going to do a half marathon.
I think if you did already a 15K right now, you can do a half. Like that is like as a coach, right? If I'm training someone for a half, 15K would be the highest mileage you will run, and then let's say your race would be in 2 weeks, and then that like you can definitely know you will do it, right? So yeah,
It was a different
half
level
marathon.
of sweat though.
I can imagine.
My shorts were sweaty and everything. I was like,
Oh my god, I am so proud. From like 0 to 21. I mean, 15K.
From 21,
sorry.
I'm getting an extra 6 there.
In 18, I think 18 weeks. I'll have to go back and
17,
see how
18,
how many weeks we've been recording the show. So, if you're listening out there, you can follow Andy's journey. If you're starting, he has all the good stories with that. So it's great. Definitely, it's I'll tell you what, it's great having you going through that journey just to remind myself how it was at the beginning. Like maybe sometimes, like I said, that happens a lot with ultra running. We get distance blinded. Like we have lost all sensitivity or of distance. Like in my head, I'm going for a 20K or I'm going for a 5-hour run, or like it doesn't register almost that the distance or the enormity of it. Or even these races that I'm like, oh, I have to do a 40K every day. That's not too bad. In my head, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it becomes normalized, doesn't it?
So it's great to have that refresh kind of like.
In fact, funny, we met someone today, Douglas.
Yeah, big shout to Douglas. He's a listener as well of the podcast.
We actually met him
big
today, and in fact, he done you a big favour, didn't he?
No, he brought me. He had his son was coming from the UK, and I needed a couple of energy gels that only they're sold in the UK Precision. They're really difficult to get here, so he was so nice to bring them over with his son, and I met him. He was a follower from Instagram, so he's one of those people that you never know, but you follow on Instagram, and we cheer each other and everything. And he's listening of the podcast and everything.
But that's another thing.
That's
the
so
community
great.
that
The community. I just asked if someone was coming from the UK because I needed those gels, and he raised the hand.
But my point was going to be is that he is a runner. Obviously, he's injured just now, a bit unlucky, with foot injury and stuff. But he was talking about, I mean, he runs fairly long distances and he'll do marathons and stuff. And even he was saying, I can't get my head around doing those distances every day.
Yeah, like every day.
For us, it becomes normalised, and it's not until you speak to guys, even who Douglas as a runner and a long distance runner, you start to think to yourself, God, that is a lot, isn't it?
I know. And I was looking, by the way, if you haven't seen the latest movie, the highlight movie of the Namibia race, go and watch it. It was up on Monday.
It was.
It's the highlight, like everything we talked about on the podcast. everything. You can see it kind of like in a quick, overview in I think it's 15-minute.
Yeah.
And you can see this beautiful uh, scenery and then
Landscape's
with
amazing,
landscape from with the drones, with the videographers. It's absolutely amazing. And I think when I watched that video, I think until I watched it, I kind of realized
Yeah.
how enormity or like the distance of
But
it.
you get to see more because you've got that fantastic drone footage and everything else. You get to see what it's like.
You have to go and watch it and like it and subscribe it and share it. It's amazing.
Funny, when Tania was putting the movie up, we'll call it a movie because it is. It's like a documentary movie thing, right?
Yeah.
She put it up and she put premiere. I was like, hold on a minute, Steven Spielberg, what's happening here?
I feel like Spielberg here. But yeah, it was great to see it and all the footage. Like I said, I think until I seen that, I kind of like seeing the enormity of it. Otherwise, you get, because you're in that moment, so you kind of like you get lost in all the distance. But we are, guys, 9 days away from the second desert, Gobi. We are packed and ready to go. And
it's amazing how quick it goes, wasn't it? Because we were talking only what I think you were saying.
3 weeks,
6 weeks, 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden
9 days. So sadly, this is our last podcast of season 2. This was a short season because I only had 4 weeks between race and race, so a little bit sad. But what are you guys doing that whole week?
Oh, me and the dog have been working hard.
Working hard in what? Well, I'll tell you what. Not the last time, but the previous time I left for a race, I come back. Andy had his whole face burned, and the dog had all his face swollen.
Oh that was in Glasgow. That was that wasn't the last race.
So I'm scared of leaving you guys alone because that time I come back, and like I said, Andy has like all his face burned because he went to he was trying to look pretty for me, so he put
I was trying to look pretty for you.
He put like this color in his beard.
My brother is a master barber, and he was trying out this new product, and he put
that didn't work out.
No ammonia. It's got a 0 pH on it. Put it on my face, and my face blew up. What are the chances? And the dog had done his paw in his face. In fact, the poor dog had to get a tooth out.
He had a tooth infection, so his face swollen. So I come back, I enter the door, and there's like half face burnt, and the dog is like with a massive like swollen eye, and I was like, I was just away for a couple of days.
Me and the dog have never been back to a rave again.
I need to see the pictures of that party. That was a party, guys. So I was like, I hope you guys. I might go over now when I leave.
But to be fair, last time you came back to having our studio set up and the house set up.
So this one, we'll see what I come back to. It's a roulette.
Next time you come back, you'll be bringing a new medal with you. So that's exciting.
Yes, I'm excited. And this time, like I said, we only had 4 weeks between race and race. And pretty much it was all about maintaining. I got a couple of questions about what I was doing during these weeks. And it was pretty much a game of maintaining, recovering. And so when I came back right away, I had 10 days completely off. That means I was walking because my parents were here. So we were walking around. It was not like I was in the carriage. I was walking, but obviously definitely away from the gym and not running, which was great. And I started with really light movement at the gym, a couple of mobility drills, and then a tiny light weights. And then the second-ish week. Third week, I started with a little bit heavier weights. I mean, still light for what I was doing before, but a little bit heavier. And then last week, I did a final, like a peak week, where I did a really long day out with my backpack in the mountains here in Jebel Jay in the UAE. And that was sort of like my only kind of be really long training day, just to remind my body what it feels to have the heavy backpack, because I did it with an 8-kilo backpack.
And weirdly enough, you found that a bit tricky, didn't you?
Oh, that I was, you know what, the heat, and then it was just climbing, relentless climb. Like I think it was around 1,700 meters in 15K, and that took me 5 hours. So yeah, that was tough. And because I don't have my metal plate here, because obviously we didn't come. I didn't bring my metal plate with me from Glasgow because that was very heavy and I was not going to pay for that. I had to go old school, carrying 4 kilos of rice.
No, I came in and I seen you packing the rice into your bag, and I'm like, what are you doing? Are you hungry? You think you're going to be hungry, or what are we doing? Are we feeding people, that. Or what's happening?
I told the two guys that were going with me to the walk, and I'm like, you have lunch here in case you get hungry. I'm pretty sure we can cook it. Yeah. Like we could put some water, the ones that we're carrying, it will boil in there.
But those guys you go hiking with and running with are really cool. Like, they helped you out as well with the rice and stuff.
Oh, it was really, yeah, they're really nice. They're really cool. And so after that, so that was last week. After that, so that means this week I've been just having super light 60 to 90 minutes of really easy jog or walk, or it's really difficult to run here. It's getting tricky because the heat is starting to just ramp up, and not only the heat but the humidity is hitting like 60-70%, and it's really tricky, but it's good. I do understand. I really enjoy the adaptations that can give me, but I think when I was talking with my coach Sarah, and I think when I'm back, we will definitely go into the treadmill because it's just I cannot run like a constant pace outside anymore. Like, it's just getting tricky. But well, anyway, this week it was just getting just really nice and easy. 60
there was
to 90 minutes.
of trying new things.
Like what?
So we've had 7 different types of fizzy cola bottles.
Of what?
The cola bottles, the fizzy, because Tanya is trying to maybe adapt her nutrition for the race, because last time it was too sweet.
So in
before
case
that it was
you
too
need,
salty.
You're like, I wanted to go and buy gummies.
I love this
That's
part.
a great excuse. I need to taste them.
And I get to taste them as well.
You know what? I'm like, it has happened to me that you buy those like sour gummies and then you try them and you're like, these are not sour.
They're rubbish.
That's not. So obviously here, because we're in the UAE and we don't know the brands here, so we're just buying a couple of different brands just to see which one is the tangliest.
It's funny, every time that I'm in the supermarket now with Tanya, we go down the aisle and she's ahead of me, and I'm like, come here, what about trying these ones? Because I like the look of them.
They have a different name with different colors or different shapes. So yeah, we've been trying all the Tangtastic gummies out there, definitely. And I definitely feel, I was telling you that the other day, I feel like kind of bored because I haven't been training hard, just apart from that long day. But I'm almost like missing that struggle and that feeling of, oh my god, this is really difficult. So with that, when I start having those thoughts, I know it's time for the race, because I get to the race like hungry ready for that. Go. So when that time appears, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like when you're craving something, let's say a cake, and they're just thinking about it. And then when the moment arrives to eat it, when the moment arrives of the struggle in there, you almost savor it because you're like, you were looking forward to it. So that's how I feel about the pain and struggle and whatever that I know that is going to happen at some point in Gobi. So I'm like souring it. Like, I'm thinking about what's going to be the difficult. Like I said, it's all about solving challenges, these races. And I'm like, I'm looking forward to what is it going to be this time, what I need to solve. Like, I'm ready to solve it.
So, I mean, for all those people that don't do ultras or don't do these long distance ones or stage races, does that come with every race? Because remember I was saying last time that what happens is that when you watch all the documentaries, you see everybody that they get excited for the start line and they get their first ultra done, their second and third or whatever. There's nobody that doesn't not do another one after that. But is that something, do you think, that every ultra runner looks forward to? They look forward to
the challenge
and the loneliness and the pain and everything like that. Do you think that
I think
is
everyone,
across the board?
I think we're all pain junkies. That's why it's even like they even say the pain cave. It's a big saying from Courtney the Walker, the massive, like, greatest ultra runner ever. She called it the pain cave, and everyone now is all about, let's go to the pain cave. Like, it's just great. We really we really enjoy that.
So maybe it's not for everyone.
Why?
Because that's not everybody's thing. Not everybody wants to go to the pain cave.
Everyone wants to go there.
No, I don't want to go to the pain cave.
Everyone wants to. Have you
No,
seen?
but you know what I mean. It's
Have you seen that meme from The Devil Wears Prada? That is like, don't be ridiculous. Everyone wants this.
oh
Yes.
yeah.
Don't be
I
ridiculous.
think you showed me. Actually.
Everyone wants this.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone wants to go to the pain cave. I think you haven't gone to the pain cave that deep.
I like the sound of the pain cave.
Oh, it's super fun. You will go one day. I'll take you one day. Don't worry about it.
It's got a big sign above it. Welcome to the pain cave.
It's super fun. I mean, it sounds horrible, but then once you're there, you're like,
No,
oh
but
my God, I can party here. This is great.
No.
And then when you exit the pain cave, you're like, oh, I missed it already. And then like when you go in again, it's like, oh yeah, I love this place. Yeah.
Yeah, but not to stereotype ultra runners, and particularly long distance runners, but it must be something inherent in
Damage.
them that they want to do it. They want to go there. I don't want to go there. Genuinely, I don't want to go there. I want to go and enjoy a run and come,
Oh, we
come,
enjoy
off, come
it.
off with a bit of runner's high.
But
But I don't want
I
to be
enjoy
like,
it. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it.
like
It's part of it.
I know we've talked about it before, right? But some of the runs that I crewed you on, right? You literally came back and you were walking like a duck for 2 days, and you were in agony. I mean, you could even get upstairs, like I had to carry in some cases.
Yeah, let's not go into the
But you
details.
couldn't stand up, and you're like, I can't move my leg. I'm so much pain. Is that the pain you love, or do you
No.
love the pain of the
Oh, yeah, both.
of the endurance part of it?
Everything. Yeah, I love the during and then after. I love the after pain, like that deep, like that one that you cannot move your legs. Oh, I'm sorry for whoever's listening. It's so terrible because they're like, I'm not going to do that ever again. But yeah, I think it grows on you. It's like running your 5K. It started growing on you, right? So the longer you go, you will understand different stages of each distance and what it brings with it. So you start adapting and your brain starts like seeking from like why you went into a 15K.
Question. Is there some runners that don't go into the pain cave on long distances? Is there some runners that I'm not saying just so good, but have done that many? So say like veteran ultra runners, guys or girls or women that have been doing it for 10, 15 years. Do you think they're at the point where they don't have it anymore?
No,
because
they do. I'm pretty sure everyone does. I mean, 100 miles, you can run 1,100 miles, 2,000 miles, and they will still hurt. It will still be difficult. It will still be challenging because the distance itself, it's difficult. And every time something else is going to pump up or there's something that,
always a different challenge.
It's a different, that's what I love about trail running and ultra running because it's not like in a track. It's the same track. You can have the same track here or in the States or in Japan. You can run anywhere and a track is a track. In here, no, it's the trails. Like, it's just so different. Even the same trail in, let's say, the Scotland one is a different trail in winter than it's in summer. So it's a totally different whole altogether. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think that'll be my new question when I meet ultra runners. Have you been to the pain cave?
Oh, that would be so cute. That's an excellent question for our viewers and listeners. Have you been to the pain cave? Ask your people. Ask the people here. Have you been to the pain cave?
when they say, yeah, I've been, what is it like? Did you meet Tania there?
Have you guys been partying down there together? Is she fun down there? Because she's not fun here. Is she nicer there?
Only when Meningita's here.
I know. They'll be all dancing there. Oh, absolutely. I can definitely see myself in the pain cave, like dancing, like if it was remember the MTV, like the old MTV Spring Break.
Oh yeah.
With the top showing the boobs.
Sorry everyone. Sorry. We're away on a tangent.
That's it. That's Tania in the pain cave.
That's everybody in the pain cave if you're doing that.
Going wild. Girls gone wild in the pain cave. Oh man. Well, it's all fun and yeah, definitely. But to go to the pain cave and to go and do these races, I had a wee reminder this week about the importance of getting a little bit serious here about getting or being responsible with your health care. Ultra runners, non-runners, or anyone. I want to remind you to do, and it's something I haven't said, and I feel so responsible because that's one of the first things actually I ask my athletes to do, is to get yourselves checked, blood tests, all tests, at least once a year, um, just because you have to be really responsible, and then
Yeah.
you never know. So we're not ready to share, I think, because we don't know 100% what's going on, but once I know what's going on, I'll be able to share it, and hopefully, we have some answers, some questions and answers about what's going on with me. But it was a good reminder that I think, like I said, you need, because more being an athlete, I think sometimes we feel some things and we want to think, let's say you feel tired and you're like, oh, it's because the heat, or because I've been tired after the race, or you're feeling a little bit dizzy and you're like, oh, maybe it was because I haven't drank my water,
Yeah.
or oh, I'm feeling very sore. Well, maybe because I hit the gym hard and so you're always trying to convince yourself it was something else. Or, oh, I gained a little bit of weight. Oh, maybe
Yeah.
because I haven't been training. Oh, yeah, I did eat an extra slice of cake the other day. And then you're not, you want to convince yourself that nothing is wrong, and you kind of like forget that maybe. And then if you do your regular tests, you can see, oh, maybe you were low in iron, and that's why you were feeling so shit, and then that's why you haven't been able to perform good. So even that is so important for your performance. So if you are getting ready for a big block, a big training, or even after a big push, a big race, I would recommend to check yourself, a quick blood test. There is a couple of kits that are sold online, and they send you the kit, the one that we used to do in Glasgow. They send you a thing. You kind of like pinch your finger on your own, and then you ship the test back, and they give you back. It's usually called the sports kit, like
Yeah.
for sport people.
They run a full blood run
So
on you,
it's a
don't
good, yeah, and it has all the good kind of points for usually, again, athletic people,
But
like
I think you're right.
cortisol and testosterone.
I think
iron.
everybody should be doing it at least once a year.
Yeah. Even if you're not crazy
from a
runner
blood
like
test,
you
yeah.
as well.
Because the truth of the matter is, even though I'm not a crazy runner, and I can use the example of, I always feel sore as well because I'm at the gym or running now 5 or 6 days a week, and what you do is you'll get a pinch or whatever, and you can say, that feels a bit sore, or this feels a bit sore, or it's just that, or it's just this, but actually you can't tell what's going on internally, or you can't tell what's going on in your head, and
Exactly.
you can't tell
Yep.
whatever. Those things that are well, we say external, but they're a muscle pain because of the cause of something, or it's a knee pain because of the cause of something.
Yeah.
But more internally, when it comes to blood work and things, you don't know.
Yeah.
So it's always worth, even if it's once a year, getting it checked out. I
Yeah,
think it's
definitely,
worth
definitely.
doing.
And again, if you're an athlete and you're preparing for something, or after a big push, and more of your women, please just keep, even more so, because we are a little bit more complicated in the sense of hormones and periods and all that. We need to keep a track. And sadly, there is not a lot of studies made on female athletes. So sadly, we have to probably keep a tabs on that a little bit
Yeah,
more.
but you're absolutely right again in terms of, see, the online ones that you can do, they're brilliant. They're so quick and they're so thorough as well. Whereas now, trying to get something like that, even in Glasgow, at a time I was looking for a Wellman clinic, remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, man,
And
there's like clinics for men.
and it was like 6 months you had to wait or whatever. So these things, you get your door 2 days later, you send them away, they come back 3 days later or something, and they give you a full list.
And they can boost your performance, because you
Yeah.
can fix, if there's something off, you can fix it, and then there you go. You've been probably thinking you were a lazy ass, and it was not. It was that you were low in iron.
Yeah.
And you thought you were getting slower, and it was not that.
Definitely
So
worth doing,
very
though.
important. So like I said, sadly, it's our last episode of season 2. Hope you enjoyed this season. This was a short season, like I said, but we survived together the first desert. Yay. We shared with you the tips. We share the memories, the experience of the Namib race, and hopefully they were useful for your training, for your life, for your next race. And we had also a great guest, Manika, sharing with us her first experience as an ultra runner in the Namib race. And so you can listen firsthand, someone that was a newbie,
Yeah,
feel
that's going to be
hopefully a
good.
little bit
Good
inspired.
for people that are interested.
Exactly. That you don't need to be need to be a long time runner, maybe a marathon runner. You can just go and smash it and feel a little bit inspired. We spoke about breaking free from fear, from comparison to unlock the ultra happy life, and so that's something a little bit of the topics that we've discussed in this season. And it's time to write a new season. So I am off on Wednesday to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia.
Mongolia.
I still don't know where it's at. Uh, just in case you were asking. And I am so excited to show you around and bring you all the details again, like I did before, about the race, what works, what doesn't work. Hopefully, I'll bring you much more insight of the race and new interviews with new guests that we're going to meet.
In fact, it might be a good idea because we do get a lot of questions through now about different things. If there's something they would like you to think about, or
send
something
it over.
that you would like for Tanya
Send
to
it
maybe
over.
mull over while she's out there.
Yeah,
in
well,
the
I'll have a
madness.
lot of time to think. Well, we spoke about that. I don't think a lot because I'm like,
Yeah.
hopefully in this one I have a little bit more of a chilled time. But so please follow along, keep subscribe, and yes, let us know right below if you have any questions, and be ready for season 3. It's gonna be a fun one. Follow along in that new journey, another 250 kilometers, and I'm gonna show you really fast for the ones that are watching. I just woke up the dog. So I am going to change my t-shirt. I'm going to be running with a white top. I'm showing you on the screen the top that I'm going to be running with. It just came this week with my 2 patches of the race.
And actually, and I know we probably shouldn't really do this.
What?
When we go
Smells
when we
okay.
go shopping, Tanya's obviously always looking for gear that's going to be better, and we go into all these crazy sports shops.
Yeah.
Where did you find that top?
Is it like H&M?
H&M.
I've tried
and
so
you've tried
many.
you've tried running it and you love it. It's funny,
You know
isn't
what?
it?
It's sad a little bit because here in the UAE there is not a lot of specialty stores.
Yeah,
So I've been
that's true.
struggling with it.
But you tried it and you loved it, didn't you? You
It was
thought
nice,
it was great,
yeah.
nice and
It was
comfortable,
good, nice
light,
and
breathable.
cool, breathable. And then my long shirt is going to be from Red Light. By the way, guys, also I don't know if I shared the news, but I am Team Red Light Mexico. Woohoo! Yeah, so my friends from Red Light now sponsors for the race. They send me the long sleeve top, which is great. You should feel this. It's like literally weightless.
It doesn't feel like it. The patches
But
are
it's
heavier.
weightless. I know the patches are the heavy part. We've discussed this between runners where like the patches, like how do you know how we cut everything away from everything because we don't want every gram counts, right? And we're like telling like you guys need to make the patches lighter because this is so heavy because of the patch.
And it's got the thumbs. I love the thumbs.
He loves the thumbs, but I'll tell you what I love as well. It has the thing for the watch.
Yeah, so you can see
you
it.
can
Yeah,
see
it's
it
cool.
through.
Huh?
So yeah, excellent. That is my new purchases. And they
So
came
you'll be
back
wearing
from
them
my
with your
patch.
paper pants, which are also from
Red Light as well.
That's a theme.
Oh, guys, I need to show you that look. I can't wait.
Yeah, that is definitely something we need to see because those paper pants are not cool at all.
I'm gonna feel like a
Sorry,
like
Red Light, but those are not
walking
cool.
in the moon. I feel like a total.
It's the noise.
Yeah.
You'll be able to hear you coming from.
I mean, you have to understand they're not pants for running. They are not pants for. They're just for pants for exactly for what they are. A race, and they have to be super thin, and they have to be warm.
You're making that
and
noise when you walk.
Imagine if I need to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet. I better
Danny's away in the
not.
toilet again.
My tent mates are gonna fucking hate me.
They're gonna hate you.
Cool. And really fast before I go, I had promised you that I was gonna show you how I'm packing the food or how it works. And I brought one day of packing. So if you are listening, I'm just showing you a Ziploc bag, one of those big Ziploc bags. And this is, let's say, one day. I put per day a Ziploc bag, and I put from breakfast how many calories and how many carbs is in it. And then I have during the race or during the run how many calories and how many carbs. For dinner, how many calories and how many carbs, and I kind of like break them through. And then I add everything at the bottom just so I know how many calories and how many carbs I'm having roughly. So for example, this is day 1 of the race. And I have for breakfast, you're going to laugh about this one, Pop-Tarts.
Oh, you're obsessed by these bloody Pop-Tarts these days. Every time I turn around, you've got one in your mouth.
I know. I'm like, so Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
Yum. And then my normal, the ones that we know, you and me, we've tried them before. All the gels and stuff. And then for dinner, we have also Summit to Eat as well. We've tried it together.
I've had
Remember
one of
in
them.
season 1? Yes, if you haven't seen that, go back to that one. We tried it, but this one is beef stew with potatoes. That's going to be dinner.
Sounds horrible. Magic.
They're not bad. And then that's it. And that's pretty much...
So-
oh, no, hold on. And then I have lunch. Sorry. Lunch is 1 because when you arrive from running, it's still fairly afternoon. So you need a lunch and then a dinner. So for lunch, I have chicken tikka masala.
Love that.
But this is like a half a portion, so it's smaller. And then you have for dinner, so later on before going to bed, let's say, then you have the beef stew with potatoes.
Yeah, no, so love that.
So, and then, like I said, I would open this, put it in a smaller Ziploc, transparent white,
Smaller version of Ziploc.
yeah, just like the smaller version of the Ziploc, because it will be lighter than this, because these ones are like a metal pouch and they're quite heavy. So you take them off, you pour them inside a smaller Ziploc bag, you put it in, and then I just save one of these ones, which this is gonna be my plate and everything for the next 7 days.
Okay.
So I just keep one, and then I pour the water, pour the food in that one, and then that's kind of my plate for the next week. So I have to keep it clean.
So
I don't know how clean it
this
gets.
time,
but-
because for me and for the runners that seen when you were going to the people that seen you were going to the last race, this looks very different from what you were taking last time to me.
Why?
So you don't have things like those serene bars. I can't
Oh,
see
the
them.
serines, I know.
You've got a single serving of coffee in it.
That's my morning coffee.
Yeah. I don't see any
Oh, I'm missing the masapan on that. No.
gummies.
Here's another thing. I put another bag, let's say a extra bag of those things of like my masapans. I have pepperonis. I have my takis. And then those are going to be like my extra snackies.
Right,
So when
okay.
like I don't have them, let's say,
So-
allocated into a day, I'm just going to have them there. And whenever I feel like, I feel like a little bit, I'm going to have a masapan.
Yeah.
I'll just get that bag and then.
So is this like a calculated amount of calories that you need to get you through, and have you upped those calories this time?
Yeah. I haven't upped those calories.
Okay.
It's the same. So so this day, for example, right? 36K the first day, and I am doing 28,000 calories.
Okay.
So
And that is
no,
based on
2,800.
2,800, yeah, 28,000. That's like the whole week.
I know, 2,800 calories, and that's pretty much, like I said, what the rule of thumb.
Yeah, and that's based on the calculation that you have.
Yeah, so
of
it's
how
7
you-
days or 7 stages, 7 times 2, 14. So it will be like 16,000 probably,
Right, okay.
roughly what I'm carrying. And like I said, maybe a little bit more because I'm adding those snacks but it's just snacks, That's what I'm doing different this time. Let's see if I feel better doing that. So I have my race bags and then an extra bag of just extra
Yeah, that you
tasty.
can pack into.
Yeah, because I felt last time, as you remember, that's what I didn't struggle with the nutrition. It was just like sometimes I was like, oh, I wish I had something salty, or I wish I had something spicy,
Yeah.
or I wish I had something like meaty, like meat, like or even greasy at some times, like just tastier, you know. So I thought pepperonis would do that.
And you've had them
And I
before
have
on
them
a range,
before,
and you
yeah.
liked it, yeah.
So I really like that because I know I get like I want that meaty feeling, like just chewing something
Yeah.
consistent, because these ones are not consistent really. So
Yeah.
sometimes you want something like chew, like proper foods, let's say. So yeah, that's what we're doing this time, and hopefully I feel a little bit better. So that bag is just mere like snacking and just like cravings. That I
And do you
could
have
get.
any idea what the temperature is going to be like?
So they said the temperature is around upper 30s. So it's not,
Okay.
I don't know about humidity.
Yeah.
So I guess you will have to find
So
out when I
in
come
that
back.
case, question: what about electrolytes and stuff like
Yes,
that?
electrolytes as well. Those are going to stay the same. The same ones that we used for Namib. Those are my electrolytes of choice. EFNs. They're sold in X miles, by the way. In the UK, I brought a massive, stupid amount of quantities to the
Still
UAE.
got a code for them?
Eh?
Still got a code for them?
Oh yeah, I still have a code for them, so I'll put the link as well below. Or if you're interested, let me know and I can send you the code. There is a discount code for that.
Yep, and
They sell
don't
everything.
they?
Yeah,
they're
I
brilliant.
like their electrolytes, but they do sell food and gels and everything for endurance sports. So great shop, like one stop kind of shop all. And yeah, I'm so excited. Please follow along. You have to follow now the journey from now on in Instagram, in my Instagram.
Am I getting
follow-
control of it again?
I was gonna say, hold on. So yeah, follow along until Wednesday. I think Friday starts the race. So I'll put before the link where you can follow me, and you will be able. I wasn't sure last time how that worked, but now we know. There will be a link that you can send me a message, and I was able to get messages through the race. So I didn't say anything last time because I wasn't sure. I didn't know. Like I didn't know if you needed to pay to receive them. So you don't need to pay to receive them. You need to pay to send them. So I'm not paying for that, but you can send me a message. I won't be able to reply, but I'll reply when I come back. And
you loved it, didn't you, last time?
I was crying reading the messages.
Remember I sent you one from the dog?
I know, Chato wrote me one. And I was like sitting there like, oh my God, it was the sweetest message. Like, hi mom, this is Chato. I'm here with my dad.
Yeah.
We're having a, and I was just like crying my eyes
He's
out.
not as much fun as you.
Oh my God. I was crying literally, like laughing, crying. Remember, like I could imagine Chato writing the email. So it's really, really cool, and it's really refreshing especially if you have a really tough day.
I'll put the links on during the race for anyone
Yeah,
that wants
exactly.
to do it,
And then, like I said, Andy will take over. So I know everyone loved the last time. You had a really good time.
I was having great conversations with all your friends.
I think you still have them
fact-
now because
fact-
you still have my Instagram in your phone.
Funnily, remember I was keeping Sarah on top of the race.
Yeah.
She would send me a message like, "Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything?"
I know. If you lose something, if you lose like a couple of
your
hours,
coach,
because
your coach
people
was
in
like,
Mexico were
"What's happening?"
sleeping, or in the UK we were sleeping, and then you wake up or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you can send a message on, like, how is it going? What's happening? And he can update you with all the good stuff. And she's still alive. She's still on the move or whatever. It's really, really fun. And we'll still put on there the links and everything.
And I think just one thing before we finish up, and we haven't really done it much on here, but we would really love you to donate to the charity.
Yes, please.
We got such an amazing message from those guys out there in Mexico and the kids, and I don't know that if you go onto your Instagram, you've got the images of them running and stuff. It's just so heartwarming to see, and they're so desperate for things like running shoes, which is nothing to us, but whatever can be donated, if you can do that and give those guys the opportunity to do that, to be able to run and to be able to survive pretty much, that would be amazing.
It's a GoFundMe page, so you want to donate there. If you want to do it directly as well, feel free to send me a message. I've heard some questions about that. If you're not a fan of the GoFundMe and you want to go directly, you can. Or if you are a brand and you're interested in sending them directly goods as well, yeah, as well we can work that out. The thing is, we just want to send them as much support as possible. I mean, one way is the GoFundMe, but if there's any other way that you want to support, please feel free. I am thinking in going next year to give them personally the time, sorry, the the check, but feel free to reach out if you want to join. So, with that said, we are going to head over to Gobi. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And remember to keep doing whatever makes you.
Ultra happy.
I'm super scared, guys. I'm scared.
You got this. You got this.
Let's go to Gobi!